Welcome, everyone. My name is Don Listwin, together with my wife, Hillary Valentine, and Chelsea Listwin. Can you take a bow, Chelsea? We welcome you to our home for what I understand is the 4th annual. I thought it was the 3rd. The second one was really good. I really don't remember much about it. Gathering of Canadian and American investment in high tech and their CEOs. We welcome the new addition. So there's CEOs, I understand, here from Canada. So welcome to you. You're new to this party, and we're happy to have you. That's it for me. I'm happy to introduce Cassie Dole, who's my friend, an avid cyclist. She and I both kicked butt on the 75K Canary Challenge up the backside of Kings Mountain last year. If you will see, it's a fundraiser over there. So for you Americans who live here, Sasha, our lady, and Jesse are going to come and invite you to join the C100 team next year. And please welcome Consulate General of Canada, Cassie Doyle.
Thank you very much, Don. And on behalf of everybody here, thank you so much for opening up your home to us. And it's a fabulous venue. It's really wonderful. It is year 4 of this BC to BC event. As I was coming in here, I kind of got a nightmare when I saw King Mountain Road right behind us, because that's the toughest part of the Canary Challenge. But it's terrific to know that we're going to have a bigger Canadian presence there this year. Hey, where's Atlee Clark? She's going to be organizing the C100. So everybody start training tomorrow. That's my advice. It is really fun. It's a great, really well organized race, and it allows you to get into shape. You have to be in shape. Let me tell you that. So I wanted just to say that the purpose of this event is to promote better communication between Canadian CEOs and Canadian VCs and our counterparts here in the Silicon Valley. And there has been the CEO Forum. Today was hosted by C100. I think they had to have a little bit later because of the hockey season. Although I guess usually, those of you in the past, it's usually it's part of a hockey game, but there was a little bit of a problem because they weren't playing in January. So all the better, because you had a terrific day today. So who's here for the CEO Forum? Put up your hands, you Canadian CEOs. Great, great. So we also have participants here in our Canadian Technology Accelerator program, which are startups, an opportunity for startups to come here for 3 or 4 months. And some of you are here. Are any of you here? Put up your hands. Okay, don't be shy. That's the big message always for Canadians is don't be shy, be bolder, think bigger, right? So the idea of tonight's event is really to provide a space for really active networking, to create relationships, to promote deal flow, and to just expose this amazing talent from Canada to the Silicon Valley. So have at it on that front. I want to thank our sponsors and our supporters. BDC is here. We have, Abrams, Steve Abrams, and Sinya. Where's Sinya?
Stand up, Sinya.
Yeah, stand up. These two have been amazing in supporting this out of Montreal. Thank you so much. And of course, our really fabulous partners all the time are the C100, who sponsored today's CEO Forum. They are, last year when I was here, I was talking a lot about how some of the very best Canadians come out of Saskatchewan, which is a little, and that is still very true. But actually, what I was thinking about is, I think that one of the biggest assets that Canada has right now are the Canadians who are living here in the Silicon Valley. And that's the C100. All of you, put up your hand if you're Canadian and you live here. Come on, don't be shy. Yeah. Don't be shy, don't be shy. Yeah. How about you, Chelsea? Are you Canadian? Yes. Put your hand up. Yay! That's it. Because there's so much value that this Canadian group called C100 has has brought to the whole business community, and it's amazing, and I know because we're always at our office, our consulate, responding to the demand of people who are so intrigued and also motivated by the presence of the C100 here in the Valley. And just what you're doing for innovation in Canada is incredibly important. You are our #1 most valuable partner. I want to recognize the co-chairs, Lars Leckie and Catherine Barr. The founders, they've actually moved past the point. I don't know what you call it in the business development cycle, but they now are being run by 2 co-chairs that are not the founders. They have outlived their esteemed founders, Anthony Lee and Chris Albinson. But you guys do an amazing job. And of course, Atlee Clark, who's I think there. What are you, Atlee? You're the CEO now of C100. But the growth has been amazing. And the one thing that it does is it just highlights how much talent Canada has in the technology space. And that's something that I hear all the time. Not only do we have great engineering talent in Canada, we have great innovative talent. We've seen that the deal flow is increasing. And one thing I wanted to ask you today is you could help us to keep better track of how much venture capital is moving northward out of the Silicon Valley. We know that in 2011, I think there was about $250 million that was raised here, and mostly in Series A, going up into Canada. In 2012, in the first 3 quarters, there'd already been a boost of about 75%. But we don't have, of course, as you know, we rely on these databases. So we at the consulate are always interested in just being able to track that kind of flow. For one thing, it allows us to go back to the government of Canada and say, this is a really important connection. Because, yes, that is, thank you. Because one thing that happens in this day and age is that everybody's focused on emerging markets. But we're always making a case that this is the most important global market for technology, and that we have to maintain a strong presence here and a strong partnership. And we have these phenomenal expats, the strongest group of expats in the world, who have, I think, the foresight to see that there is a really good both business interest and personal interest in creating and maintaining and strengthening Canada's presence here in the Silicon Valley. That's what this event is all about. So on the subject of phenomenal Canadian talent, we have a great speaker here tonight who I'm going to introduce, Don Matrick, who many of you will know. Don, let me see if I get this right, Don, from memory. Don Matrick started a software company when he was 17 called Distinctive Software. It was acquired by EA. Don is probably most importantly, as a Vancouverite, is born and raised in Vancouver. Don ran EA Canada and had a lot of senior roles in EA Canada, or in EA, and he moved over to Microsoft. He runs their consumer and interactive industry. He's the president of that part of Microsoft now. He was, I know this is really important, Don, so I want to get it right. He was, okay, doesn't matter, they're always giving me this, that he was named in 2011 by Fortune magazine as one of the smartest people in tech. And CNN Money's had named him just last year as one of the top 10 technology visionaries. So we couldn't agree more that that's where he's positioned. And I think actually one of the most important things about Don is his selection of a spouse. And some of you know Nanon de Gaspé Beaubien. What a mouthful. My God, that name of yours, Patrick. Who is here? Nanon is a fabulous entrepreneur in her own right, runs her own VC, invests in women in technology. And she and her parents, Nanon and Don, are sort of binational. They travel between Canada and here. And I just want to put a little plug in. We have a big program coming up called Tech Women Canada, where we're bringing women's presidents and heads of startups in Canada down to the Valley. And Nanon has been our really top advisor on that. So I think, Don, probably out of all of your work you've done in technology, probably one of the smartest things you ever did was marry Nanon. So on that note, please welcome Don Matrick to the stage.
Thank you, Cassie. Just goes to show you, $50 and a sandwich, you can get anything from a journalist. So I appreciate that introduction. Today I had the pleasure of hosting a group of CEOs driving their business at the Microsoft campus, and it was really a wonderful experience to learn about the people, about their perception of what's going on here at Silicon Valley. They complained to me a little bit about the weather. They hoped it would be a touch warmer coming from Canada, and I told them that if they could stick around through the weekend, it might get to 100. So today, the themes that we talked about were the challenges of building your business, of leading your organization, of thinking through the challenges that most of us have gone through, of what's the best path. What's the best path for our business? What's the best path for our financing partners? And again, I came away really impressed, not only with the people that I met driving the businesses, but also hearing from Catherine that today there were approximately 65 people participating in the local community and in Canada to help build bridges and teach people what financing alternatives are available. I also gave the quick assessment during my speech that everyone who is driving one of the big funds, they really love you, but they only want one of two things: succeed or fail. And the reason why they want to do that is venture capital people get paid because they get their fund and they get their fees, and the way that they make their fund is one of their investments becomes a breakthrough company, a company like what Don participated in. And there's a real core understanding here in the Valley that the ingredients exist for businesses to break through and get to the next level. So as you're here, spending time, networking, keep that in mind. If you spend time traveling throughout Canada, please remind everyone that we're welcome here. People are friendly, and that there's great opportunities for Canadians to build businesses, to export technology, and to change the world. So with that, as some introductory comments, I'd like to invite Catherine and Lars up to talk a little bit about the organization, the remaining time in the program, and again, thank you for inviting us and hosting us at your house, Don.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to say the quick few words about C100 just to sort of set the stage for the things we're doing. It looks like you have a UPS delivery done. So the C100 was started 3 years ago, and Anthony is in the back somewhere, one of the original co-chairs. Where are you, Anthony? There you are. So the vision behind C100 was to try and figure out how to tap this expat community of Canadians down here and use it to sort of, so there's about 100 people, that's what the 100 is, and use that to put it back into the Canadian private company ecosystem. So that, there's an idea of 100 or a couple hundred companies in Canada that have this potential to be breakout technology companies, billion-dollar companies built in Canada. And the C100, all the events, the stuff that's happening today, the CEO forum and the VC to VC, that's the mission. The mission is to connect those two communities and help build those billion-dollar companies. And I think that the story has changed in Canada. The story is different now. So if I leave you with one thing, there's different groups here. The companies, I want you guys to go back and tell people, there's help in Silicon Valley. The C100 is here to help you. I want you to take that message back, make sure those people know, anyone you know in Canada, that come down to these events, come down to the 48 Hours events. That's the mentoring event we do. The Canadian VCs who are in the group here, keep investing in Canadian companies. And we have, so there was a number, Cassie was saying, there's been a lot of American venture capital, and I just talked to Jock at USVP. Where's he? He's our latest. Oh, he's already gone. So they just did an investment in Ottawa we didn't know about in a semiconductor company. So there's a lot going on. In the 3 years that the C100's been around, it's $560 million have gone into companies involved in the C100. That is an unprecedented level in sort of the Canadian startup venture community. And I think that's just the beginning. We're just starting to see sort of this huge wave of success in Canadian startups, and I think we owe it to ourselves and we owe it to other people to make sure people know that story and we celebrate those successes. So That's what I want to leave you with.
I'm gonna say a few thank yous. Before I do, I just wanted to echo Lara's words. I think one of the biggest takeaways for me from today's session, the Investor Summit, which ran in parallel with the CEO Summit, was just how many incredible things are happening in Canada in terms of investing and entrepreneurship, and just how much more we need to share that with the investors here and the other investors and the general technology ecosystem outside of Canada. So we're going to take that on as a mission at C100 for sure over the next year or so. So just in terms of thank you, want to thank Don Listman and his family very much for hosting us. Appreciate that. And John Matrick for his words of inspiration. Appreciate that. And Cassie as well for her incredible words, and the Canadian Consulate for being one of the sponsors of this event. BDC as well is one of the key sponsors of this event, so thank you so much for that. And of course, C100 want to thank Atlee and Lindsay and Camille for all of their hard work in putting together. It's very logistically complex to put together an event like this, so thank you very much, you guys as well. And yes, that's true, it is Lindsay's first event. Where is Lindsay? Is she here? She's hiding. She's back there. Yeah, welcome, Lindsay. And also a big thank you to all of the C100 sponsors. There are quite a few of them, and they've been incredible in supporting our programs over the years. And finally, thank you so much to all of the CEOs and all of the investors who took time out of your incredibly busy schedules to be here with us. So big thanks to everyone for being involved, and we don't want to stand between you and the alcohol anymore. So please enjoy. Have a great evening. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Catherine. One last word. Dinner is coming, so don't think the appetizers were food. Well, they are, but not the whole thing. And then I want you to, everyone, you see Ross's wine bar behind there. Ross is a good friend of mine for 13 years now. Owns 35,000 bottles of wine in his home, which is in Half Moon Bay, because that makes, oh look, my friend's here. That makes it easy to cellar. And Ross donates to my nonprofit almost $100,000 a year of this wine for his event. So give it up for that. Wow, look at, we're giving it up. Go! Wow, look at this. Kids can play volleyball. All right. And I just wanted to say thanks to him, because the C100 and the Consulate stepped up and supported the entire event, and I decided, well, he and I together would upgrade the wine for tonight's event. And if you haven't been over there, you really should. And Ross is key to it. So say, hey, Ross! All right. One more thing, don't go yet!
Okay, this is going to go on and on and on. No, I'm just joking. I want to introduce Dina Santos. Please stand up, Dina. Dina runs our Palo Alto office. If any of you, she's the one who sort of is tracking and connecting with VCs. But Dina, this is her first year here, and I wanted to introduce her. She's just down from Montreal. She's worked in Boston and New York, and she's got a great background in technology. And I just want to thank Carmen from our team, and Mara, who's been helping, and Natalie, who's one of our very talented students coming down from UBC. So thank you. And we also have somebody here from Invest in Canada, Cindy Babick. Cindy, put up your hand there. Okay, yeah, Cindy's here. So, but really, we need to know about deal flow. We really would appreciate it. We just need to know the numbers, not all the commercial confidentiality. So please help us with that. Have a great evening. Get out there and network. Thank you.